We're still on the lifestyle segment on the weekend show, and now we'll be talking about the Eid al-Kabir celebrations, popularly known as the Big Sallah. And joining me to discuss this, we have Suleiman Ibrahim, who is a Sarki Intelijo Michika Adamawa State. Good morning.
Good
We're
morning.
glad to have you back on the show.
Thank you very
And we
much.
also have joining us Alhaji Dauda Lawal, who is an Islamic scholar and political analyst. Good morning, and thanks for coming back.
Good morning and compliments of the season.
Compliments of the season
Good
to you
morning,
too.
listeners.
All right, so what does this Eid mean to you personally, and how do you usually celebrate it?
This Eid means a lot to me and my society in general. This Eid is a very respectful season for every Muslim Ummah in other out of order celebrations. Having been the Eid al-Adha, it has been perceived that in this very celebration there is this preparedness of, fulfillment of it's being accepted that you will be fulfilled, you will be accepted, your prayers will be accepted. More especially today now, you will see every Muslim Ummah is preparing to at least give whatsoever time he will give to pray, because it is being assumed that your prayers, anything you beg today or you pray for today, your prayers will be accepted. And for Muslim Ummah, we are more or less feeling that it is a time to honor God, some sacrifice, to do some sacrifice that will to signify Prophet Abraham's sacrifice intention to sacrifice his own, child for God, for his belief. So peoples prepare a lot of giveaway for this very moment in order to reciprocate the saying of the Islamic scholars. So more especially in this present situation, people will be willing to see how they can assist those that are not privileged to, in this very moment, because whatsoever you do to your fellow brothers, it will also surely come back to you. Talking about the economic situation of today, everybody is in hardship. The society in our own angle is not at peace because the economic situation is very hard. More especially, the market is very sympathetic. Nothing, no matter what you are earning today, nothing will take care of your immediate needs. That's why you can see some of the governors try as much as possible to pay salary, even for the Sallah, even I think the date is today is 15 or so, right? Or is it 16?
The public holiday is Monday and Tuesday.
Okay,
actually.
yeah, but the Sallah, I think, is Sunday. So some of the northern or some of the governors have paid their salary just to see how maybe life will be eased for the members of the society, for the Muslim Ummah. But even with that, things are very difficult. So the government need to, not only the government, even the people in society have to step up by, seeing how they can help their neighborhoods, because the situation is too harsh to a situation where even worship is always is becoming difficult, because a hungry man cannot even concentrate on worship. So the society, this thing, just like for the very first time, I have to say this. I think Abuja I heard that the minister, who I count him as the face of APC or Tinubu government, because you cannot, if you withdraw Wike out of Tinubu government today, you cannot see anything per se. But the fiscal things he's doing, his relationship with people, more especially on this Sallah, his efforts to the civil servant, I think is good to acknowledge and to appreciate as well, unlike before. So at least we are seeing some dividends of good governance in the FCT per se, talking about FCT and the government intervention in the FCT.
Okay, I would like to bring you into this conversation. Can you explain the significance of Eid al-Kabir for you and for Muslims all around the world?
والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده محمد ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Good morning, my listeners. Once again, the Eid al-Adha has a lot of significance to be traced back to the lifetime of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, on who the Salah and the practice was established. Not to elongate the story, but to trace some significance. The first of all, this Salah signifies that the total submissiveness to Almighty Allah, and that is the literal meaning of Al-Hidayah. Submissiveness. Submit totally to the wish, to the commandment of Almighty Allah, according to the first practice of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, who submitted himself to the instruction of Almighty Allah. What was the instruction? The instruction was the covenant between him and his Lord, that if you give me, you endow me a child after elongated waiting without a child, I am so lucky you give me one, I am sending him back to you. Now, out of this submissiveness, out of total submission, he fulfilled his promise. Because if you don't submit, you cannot fulfill the promise, even between you and a human being like you, talk less of Almighty Allah. That is number one. Another significance is that Almighty Allah wants to test our faith in Him. How faithful we are, how committed we are, how trustworthy we are to Almighty Allah. How? In the history again, Almighty Allah changed the slaughtering of the only son he begot to slaughtering of Ram, who he didn't even argue or deny. Now, Almighty Allah now said in the Quran that what tarakina lil akhirina, or what I narrated to you in the Quran about Prophet Ibrahim, I left it as a footstep to follow to all Muslims. That means all Muslims, not only the Prophet and his family, all Muslims, to follow the footsteps of what Ibrahim did to sow the submissiveness and to sow the taqwa, the fear of Almighty Allah in him to fulfill the promise. That is why Almighty Allah mentioned it in Quran, in Surah Al-Hajj, to verse 27, that Almighty Allah has no concern with the blood of the animal you slaughter, and also he has no concern, it has nothing to do with the flesh of the animal you slaughter, but what Almighty Allah wants from you is a taqwa, the fear of Allah, to fulfill the promise. The fear of Allah, to submit yourself to Him. Because if you don't fear somebody, you cannot submit yourself to Him. So to me, so the lessons are many, even among others. This lesson, when I was teaching my students in Islamia about the lesson of Hidayah, I let them understand that even you children, this Hidayah taught the children of the childhood how to be submissive to the parents. Because Prophet Ismail submitted himself to the slaughtering. This was at the age of 12, which is very, very difficult to happen to our children now. If you raise a cane, you want to flush your child, your own biological child, he will run away, he may run away. Talk less of a child of 12 years whose biological father had a knife. He understood that he is about to be slaughtered, and he didn't run away. That is full submission, full submission to childhood. So these and others are what the Eid brought to us. If not only that, the sharing, caring, because if you slaughter this animal, you are not to eat it alone. According to prophetic hadith, it said, if you slaughter this animal, share it into 3. Consume one in your own matrimonial house. Share the second part to your neighbors. The third part should be shared to well-wishers outside, to know that, yes, Muslims are celebrating Sallah.
So I have the right to ask my neighbor for ram. Is that what you're saying? So they're supposed to share with me?
Yes.
I like that.
You have right, because the religion of Islam uphold the principle of neighborhood. The neighborhood is not be overlooked in Islam. To the extent that the Holy Prophet said, Almighty Allah was instructed me about my neighbor, directing me to do good to my neighbor, to the extent that I thought my neighbor are entitled to my inheritance after my death. So that is, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, once you are a neighbor, the Islam teaches us to do good to them. To the extent that in another hadith, the Holy Prophet said, Da'watul Muslim laysa lahu al-hijaba, wala kana kafir, wa kufri hindallah. If you hurt anybody and he raises up his hand and curse, that curse should be approved by Allah. Even if he or she is unbeliever, his status of unbeliever is between him and God. So meaning that Islam carries along everybody. Islam preaches doing good to everybody, be generous to everybody, irrespective of his religion. Once he or she is your neighbor, even if you're not your neighbor. So you, my sister, you have every right to ask your neighbor who slaughtered big ram that Elijah, I haven't seen my ram. I haven't seen my food. Yes, jokingly. They will give you. So that is what Islam teaches us.
So what are some religious practices? I know you've already mentioned some that are associated with this season.
Yes.
Some religious practices.
Yes, religious practice associated with this Eid al-Hidayah, as I mentioned, it can be traced from the surah who brought comprehensive analysis of Hidayah. That is when Almighty Allah was revealing to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Inna atayna ba'da bismillahir rahmanir rahim, Inna atayna kal-kawthar, fasalli li rabbika wanhar, inna shani'aka huwal abtar. The meaning, the Holy Prophet was referred to that we, Allah, give you, provide for you booty, series of booty, wherewith us, blessings, uncountable, unquantifiable. If you understand that, fasolli li rabbika, go and pray to Almighty Allah, one heart and slaughter animal. In the Saniaka, what after? Those who envy you, those who backbite you, will have sad end. From this verse, from this chapter, it shows that observing 2 rakat of prayer in the morning, secondly, slaughtering of animal, sharing of this animal, visitation to the family and friends is another important thing. That is why government gives holiday, 2 days holiday. If you do your Sallah first day, the second day, go out and visit your neighbors, your relatives, your well-wishers. Assalamu alaikum. How long time we don't see? Are you this period of Salah to visit you? How are you? That's our well-being. So that is the Holy Prophet said, Zurigimba, Tesidedi Hobba. Visitation hearts increases love among Muslims, even non-Muslims. You cannot be greeting me and hate you. I cannot do that. I cannot be greeting you, visiting you once in a while. Even if I don't bring anything, you will love me more than ever before. It brings love. It brings caring. It brings sharing. It brings prayer, observing prayer. It brings togetherness. Apart from that, when we gather on Eid ground, which involves much more crowd than Jumat prayer, the people or person you have seen for a long time, you meet in Eid. Are you in this town? Assalamu alaikum. Are you in this town? Assalamu alaikum. Are you in this town? Assalamu alaikum. Amala. You are staying in this town. How is Ashib? That is one. The secondly, you use that period to discuss the waggling of the tongue. What is going on in society?
Hardship.
Enlightenment. My brothers and sisters, thank God that we meet on Eid ground. So we should do this, we should not do this. You indulge that at time to enlighten yourself religiously, socially, morally, academically, and otherwise.
I'd like to Suleiman.
Yes.
Earlier you spoke about the economy. You also just mentioned the hardship in society. With this in this season of celebration now, and with the cost of things, how can the government and how can individuals actually help themselves in order to celebrate appropriately?
Yeah, thank you very much, Didi. You see, the situation now, the present situation at hand is not a joking issue. The truth about it, both the government and the society have to step up. Or they know that things are not normal. Just as I say, before now, we as traditional leaders, we do see some some things people bring to us. At times, they used to bring many rams from different individuals that you don't even know. But now, hardly you see those things because even them, they are managing themselves. Yeah. Hardly you see someone, in fact, the ones that, if you are seeing 10 before, hardly you see 3 today, ram. So because you say, some people are relying on you that if the chief will get ram, so you too, as they bring, you too, you will be sharing. But it's not like before. Just as I say, if not because in my state, Adamawa state government decide to pay salary before this, I don't know how it will go. Because it have bring a lot of relief to the masses and the people. The tension just come down yesterday after hearing that that everybody starts seeing some alert. But even the alert cannot acquire RAM. RAM that is not up to 20 kg. You will be hearing 100,000 and above. 20 kg RAM, you will be hearing 150. 30 kg RAM, you will be hearing 250, 500. Is surprising. So the situation is just this thing. So people have to bear with people this time around. Just as Imam enlightened us that visitation, even if without anything, is part of the celebration. I think we should do it with conscience, and also where we are gathering, as we are celebrating, we should also concentrate in terms of, be careful in terms of also security situation, because anywhere we are now, due to the hardship, insecurity everywhere. Just that rain of yesterday around 9:10. My neighbor was inside her house. She just see her AC, this thing is being pulled. Before they come out, they left. They have cut the AC pipe, trying to steal the something. All this thing is hardship. So the situation, everybody should be careful with the present situation. We should bear with ourselves. We should accommodate ourselves. Just as you are asking, Malan, how does this relate to other faiths? Like this hadayat of the story of Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Ibrahim, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, can be traceable to even Buddhism, Christianity, and other religion. So it's a very well-respected, I think, event that everybody want to have the history and is recognizing. So it's all about showing love to one another. Like in my society, if you see how we celebrate Sallah, you will think all this place is, all the society are Muslims. But in reality, is a Muslim in my community, we are not up to 5%. If you see us celebrating Christmas, you will think there is nothing like another religion. So that's how we do. So Tilijo, where I come from, thank God for our well-being.
Yeah,
So
I like this message of unity you just passed across, how different faiths can work together and celebrate each other irrespective. Before we go, Alhaji, I would like you to convey a message of unity to Muslim faithfuls, Christians, and all other religions, particularly in this season of togetherness.
Thank you. You know, Almighty Allah, who is the most perfect creator, the most intelligent intellectual, the omnipotent transformer, who exists everywhere, who knows everything, who is in everything, who is in everywhere, wants us to unite, not only in Islam, even in other religions. They need unity. They preach unity. But to narrow it down to our religion of Islam, Islam preaches unity among ourselves, even among Muslim and other religions. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it at length in many hadiths, in the prophetic hadiths, that al-Muslim, the Muslim kal-bunyan, wasabbaka Rasulullah as-sabiyah. He said, Muslim to his fellow Muslims, they are just like a building, which one part cannot do without other. And in description, the Holy Prophet folded his fingers and hand like this. Hold yourself, unite yourself, see yourself as one. These hadiths do not only peculiar to Muslims among Muslims. They are to Muslims and other faiths. Do things together once it is not prejudice to your religion. This leads me to a narrative, and this will be a lesson for somebody who believes that he belongs to a faith and he wholeheartedly hates another faith. Don't hate him. Say, woman be like you. There was a time, there was a woman during the prophetic time. She was not a Muslim. She hated Islam, she hated Prophet Muhammad and his people to the extent that she used to pour dirty at the doormat and at the window of the Holy Prophet so as to provoke him. Simply because he hated him, he hated the religion he brought. Now, she has been doing that persistently or currently, repeatedly, to provoke the Holy Prophet. One day, this woman was unable to come and do as he used to do. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked of her, where is this woman who always provoke us here, dumping refuge at my window, at my this and that, to provoke me? The people said to the Holy Prophet, the woman is seriously sick, yo. The Prophet said, the woman is sick. Yes, he's sick, yo. The woman is down. The Prophet said, okay, let us go and greet her. The Prophet gathered his people. They went to the room and they greeted her. And they prayed. The Holy Prophet himself prayed for the woman for quick recovery. And the woman soonest recovered. The woman recovered. When this woman recovered, she directly came to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which type of religion you have? Upon all provocation I offered to you, I fell sick, and you gather and you come and greet me, you pray for me. This religion is a true religion. I must follow this religion. That is how this woman became Muslim. Meaning that with love, with unity, the Holy Prophet dragged this woman into Islam, and Muslim increased, not decreased. The unity is a pillar upon which Almighty Allah himself built the whole world. If you see, for example, the map of the whole world is spherical in nature, in size. Spherical means all of you are in a circle, unite together. That is the symbolic factor
of unity.
That's of unity. So Islam preaches unity among Muslims and among non-Muslims. Stay in peace with your neighbor. Stay in peace with other religions. Stay in peace with your Muslim brothers and sisters. That is the only way to enjoy your life.
Didi, to add to what Imam Allah has just said, you see, talking about this interreligion unity, my investigation revealed to me that the most closest religion on earth is Islam and Christianity. But they are the only religion that do even clash in things. I don't know if it's because of their similarity. The last time I tried, I think the only differences is, okay, Christianity did not believe that there is another prophet after Jesus Christ. There is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Islam, but Islam believes that there is Christianity. That's Prophet Isa alayhi wasallam, and the only thing, Islam does not believe in Trinity. So if you look at the other religions, more than 100 religions, no one that are closer. All of them, they are descendants of true Prophet Abraham that we are talking about. You understand? So majority, more especially in black nation or with us here, in our society, you see politicians try to take advantage. If I'm a Muslim, I will look at my deficiency and say, these people don't like me because I'm a Muslim, in order to drive love from where I'm majority. Likewise of the other one, Christian would like to play a role to show that the other group does not like him because he's a Christian. So they play with our intelligence, with our psyche. And we too, we don't even care to understand these politicians. We don't really understand that, okay, if they are at National Assembly, you don't see them dividing themselves by religion. They divide themselves by party, groups. They don't reason about religion at all until after 1 year to politics. So I think the good thing for Nigeria or for mankind is to understand what the humanity in that particular person, to respect that humanity. So far, God has given us one image. Let's respect one another. If God wants us to be Christian, I'm telling you, it's just kun fayakun, it will be. If you want us to be Muslim, all we will be Muslims. It is that is how God wants us to be. That's why He allows us to be like this, to recognize ourselves. and for him to do his godly things. So we should respect humanity first, celebrate humanity first before the person's religion, before the person's money, before the person's everything.
That's a beautiful place to live. Thank you so much, Suleiman and Alhaji Dauda, particularly on your messages on unity and that love conquers all at the end of the day. Thank you very much. And happy Eid to all our Muslim brothers and sisters all over the world. We'll go on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll bring you more on The Weekend Show. To stay with us.